What's up, my friend? Happy Tuesday. I am super excited to be with you this afternoon slash evening to talk about something that I am so incredibly passionate about that it's like I just can't even express it enough. And part of me is just sitting back wondering, like, why did it take me 15 years to get here? I don't know why it took me 15 years to get here, but I'm here and that's all that matters, right? That's all that matters. I firmly believe that you are where you are because you're supposed to be sometimes, but you know what I'm trying to say. So really quick, before we get into this live and why we're here and what all this is about, drop it in the comments where you're coming in from. If you are catching me live, please drop a flame in the comments. If this is a replay for you, please do a purple heart down below. What's up, Roxy? Good to see you on. Congratulations on your new business. My girl Roxy just started an amazing manicure nail business. Super excited for her. But welcome everybody. So really quick, oh my God, my alerts. I forgot to turn my notifications off. Let me do that really quick. Boom. Okay, so are you having a good week? I hope so. I'm so glad that you're here. So the title of my live is The Miracle That Happened Before My Husband Died, or something like that. I don't even remember the title because I've been so hyper focused on the content of what I'm going to share with you today. And like I said, it's something that I am crazy passionate about, and here recently, even more so. Okay, so I don't know if you've seen or not, but for the past few days, I've been posting about estate planning. And I also posted this morning a story that I heard last night. Okay, and so really quick, this is what we're going to do. All right, this is what you can expect. We're going to share some stories. I got some notes here so I keep my mind in order because my ADHD brain has already seen at least 10 squirrels since I started the live 2 minutes ago. So I got some notes here. So today what we're going to do, okay, we're going to dive into some stories and some valuable insights on how to ensure that when your time comes, when our time comes for us to depart from this planet, that our families are left with peace of mind. All right. And you can live with peace of mind. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever wondered about the legacy that you're creating? We see the word legacy and whatever, but like, what exactly does that mean? Right. But have you ever thought about it? Like, drop the word legacy in the comments if you're like, yeah, I have thought about the legacy that I'm living and the legacy that I'm creating. Or maybe you've pondered the practical steps to bring comfort to your loved ones when you're no longer around. I mean, let's just keep it real. We all have an expiration date. Now, this live, it's not going to be doom and gloom, although there might be some parts of it that might make you a little sad or might make you a little be like, oh crap, like, there might be some pricking in your heart, but don't ignore that, okay? Don't ignore what your heart is going to tell you today, okay? You're in the right place though. All right. So I'm gonna share some stories and I'm gonna give you some information and some practical things that you can do that are gonna absolutely not only change the rest of your life, but what I'm gonna share with you has the potential to absolutely change the rest of your loved ones' lives. Okay, like this is not I don't take this lightly. I really, really want you to stick around. I promise I won't take up a whole lot of your time, but this is a really, really big deal. All right, now, so I want to ask you really quick, like, do you even have an estate plan? Do you even know what an estate plan is? I'm going to talk to you about an estate plan. I'm going to give you some examples of what will happen when you pass if you do not have an estate plan, and what happens when you pass and you have an estate plan. So I will tell you really quick, this is the miracle that happened. This is the miracle that actually, I think I'm going to hold the miracle off until the very end because I really want to bring it to life for you and make it really, really stick and hit home. Okay. Because this is something that's too powerful to just express in a Facebook post. So I had to go live. Right. So let's talk about the Johnson family. Okay. So the Johnson family, and this is a fictitious family, by the way, but the Johnson family does not have an estate plan. Okay. And unexpectedly, they passed away without creating one. So here's like an example. Here's a little glimpse of what will happen or the challenges that the family may face as a result of not having an estate plan. First of all, there's something called in-estate succession. Okay. So let's just say we've got John Johnson and his wife. All right. So since John did not have a will, okay, the state's in-estate succession laws will determine how his assets are distributed. Okay, so just imagine in your mind, here's John Johnson. He's passed on. He doesn't have a will in place. He's got all of these assets, house, car, Roth IRA. Like he's got all these assets and no will. What do you think is going to happen? Drop it in the comments. Like, what do you think is going to happen when he passes away? Well, I just told you the state is going to decide. Can you imagine what, like, the state deciding what to do with your things? Now, you may have decided in your heart, oh, I want so and so to have this and I want so and so to have that. And you may have verbally said that, but without it being documented, it doesn't exist, doesn't matter. So the laws typically allocate a portion to the surviving spouse and children, but the specifics may vary depending on the jurisdiction. And there's also the probate process. All right. Without a living trust, John's estate will likely go through a probate process, which can be time consuming and very costly. Who do you think is going to pay for that? So put yourself in this person's shoes and like just think about that. Think about if this happened to you, right? The court will appoint an administrator to manage the estate's distribution, and this process can tie up assets for a long period. So John Johnson passes away. His family, they're telling the state, like, look, John said we could have this, and John said he wanted that. That does not matter if it's not documented. And then there's also, this is the scariest one to me, okay? But there's also uncertain guardianship. If John and his spouse had minor children, the lack of designated guardian in a will could lead to uncertainty about who will care for the children. So if John Johnson and his wife die together and they've got kids, the state is going to decide where those kids go. They're not like everything has to be documented. I hope you're getting the point here. There's also limited asset protection without an estate plan. Assets distributed through an in-estate succession may not provide the same level of protection as those distributed through a trust. Creditors may have greater access to the assets, potentially impacting what's left for the surviving family. So I hope you can kind of see like how this can impact your family dramatically without these things in place. And then the worst thing too is there's family disputes. How many times have you seen families argue and fight over things after a loved one has passed? So the absence of a clear estate plan might lead to disagreements among family members regarding the distribution of assets. And I wouldn't say might, I would say they probably would. This can strain relationships and result in prolonged legal battles. And then there's no specific wishes. Without a will or letter of intent, John's specific wishes regarding funeral arrangements and the distribution of personal items and other non-financial matters are unknown. You got to deal with all that. So his family has to deal with all that. So in summary, without an estate plan, the Johnson family may face legal complications, delays in asset distribution, potential family disputes, uncertainty about the fulfillment of John's wishes. This example underscores the importance of having a comprehensive estate plan to provide clarity, protect assets, and ease the burden on surviving family members during a challenging time. Man, like it's so worth it to do ASAP, right? So let's talk about the Smith family. So the Smith family, they went ahead and took care of it. They contacted me and they said, Jana Brown, we want an estate plan. They paid $38 and they got it. Okay. So walk through this situation in your mind. They contacted me. Hey, Jana, I want an estate plan, paid $38, got everything in order. But here's what happened. Oh my gosh. John and Mary Smith die in a car accident. Okay. But they had their last will and testament. John and Mary outlined how they wanted their assets, their property, their investments, their personal belongings distributed amongst their heirs. They appointed a guardian for their minor children in case both of them were unable to care for them, which happened in this example. Okay. The Smith family also had a living will. John and Mary expressed their healthcare preferences in the event they were unable to make medical decisions for themselves. So, because of their estate plan, let's say that instead of them both dying in the car accident, let's say Mary passed away, but my gosh, John, he's got all these medical expenses, and number two, he's incapacitated. He can't make decisions for himself. Let's just say he's on life support. Does he want to stay on life support, or does he want to be unplugged? That's a personal decision. And I bet every single one of you know what you want to be done. You know what you want to be done. I know that if I were in the hospital and I could not function and I was dying and I was on a ventilator or whatever, I know I would want my family to unplug me immediately and cremate my body and disperse the ashes in the wind. I don't freaking care. What I don't want happening is I don't want my sister and my mom and my dad and whoever else arguing and fighting about, should I stay on the ventilator or should I stay on life support or should I not? Right? And I don't want a physician to walk into the room and see 11 family members and friends and they're all talking at him. A physician only wants to talk to one person, and without a directive to a physician, it's going to be pretty chaotic. Okay. So, another thing that is included in your estate plan is your financial power of attorney, your power of attorney. So let's just say you are, you're in critical condition and you've got bills that need to be paid. Well, your wife, your husband, whatever the case may be, they can't just go to the bank and they can't just call a company and say, hey, I need to pay this bill for my spouse who's, under medical care. That you have to have a power of attorney who can make financial decisions on your behalf. There's also a living trust. John and Mary, they transfer their major assets like the family home and substantial investments into a trust. That way those things cannot be taken. Okay. Beneficiary designations. They review and update beneficiary designations on life insurance policies, retirement accounts, and other financial accounts. Have you done that, or do you even have that? I know this can sound like, oh my God, that sounds so complicated. I don't even know where to start. I got you, boo. That's why I'm here. I got you. Don't worry. I got you. Let me tell you, my dad didn't have any of these things in place. $38 and 2 hours later, we're done. Done. He's got peace of mind, and I know that me and my sister are going to know exactly what to do when the time comes, right? Letter of intent. John and Mary included a letter of intent, providing guidance to their heirs about their wishes, such as funeral arrangements, preferences for the distribution of specific personal items, and any additional instructions. By creating an estate plan, the Smith family is not only safeguarding their assets, but also ensuring that their wishes are known and respected. It is a comprehensive strategy to provide for their family's future and maintain peace of mind. Each estate plan is unique and tailored to individual circumstances, but this example illustrates the essential importance often included, right? So I don't know where you're at, okay? I don't know where you're at as we're sitting here talking, okay? I don't know if you have life insurance or you don't. I will tell you right now, most people do through their job, okay? However, it's likely it's not enough. Okay, it's not enough. And then, God forbid, you get laid off, lose the policy, in transition of finding another job, something happens to you. My husband, so here's the miracle, okay? Here's the miracle that happened to me before my husband died, all right? So if you don't know my story, here's the deal. My husband and I, we had 2 small children when he passed away. Eliza was 3, Michael was 2. Okay. And we were always strapped for cash, but God provided. We were always blessed. I'll tell you, my husband asked me this is like two miracles. My husband asked me every day for 3 days before he died, "Do you love me? Are you sure you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me?" And I said, "Babe, I don't care if we live in a cardboard box. As long as I'm with you, I am so happy." And I truly, truly, truly was. Uh, However, for about 2 months before he passed away, Gina, it's been a minute. 2 months before he passed away, I began to tell my husband to cancel our $40 life insurance policy, his $40 life insurance. I was like, cancel it because I know you know my story. I had set, like, I literally had no money and we didn't have hardly any money when we were married. So that $40, I felt like we needed it. He was 29 years old. In my mind, life insurance was for old people. Like, my mind, life insurance was only for like the super old. Like, I didn't understand what life insurance was, but life insurance, oh, my girl, Cassie. Sorry, I might cry. For Cassie. Okay, I did not expect Cassie to come on. Cassie's husband was killed in November and left behind her and her beautiful boy. And praise God, he had his affairs in order. Praise God. Praise God. Okay. Oh, I love you, Cassie. So anyway, I kept telling my husband, you need to cancel it. We need that $40. My husband, and I remember when my husband was saying, like, I'll cancel it. Like, I'll call them. I promise I'll call them. He died before he made that phone call. Listen, I don't wish harm on anybody, but please, please make sure your family is taken care of. Because my husband had a plan and took care of us, I was able to buy this house. Okay. I was able to put my kids in Montessori school when they were little so I would have a break from them because I was grieving. Okay. I was able to buy a car. I was able to give my kids a life that my husband wanted for us while he was here, but he couldn't give us while he was here. We were working towards it. But here's the thing, y'all. My husband did not have enough life insurance. So the miracle was that he didn't cancel the life insurance policy. He died and God looked out for us and we got about $500,000. But honey, that may sound like a lot, but when you have two little babies, that money was gone. And then of course me and my, I went kind of cray and spent a lot of it on drugs and alcohol. But anyway, life insurance is meant to replace your income. Okay. And my husband did not have enough life insurance because it did not replace his income. So unfortunately, because there wasn't enough, I had to, I ended up on government assistance and needed Social Security death benefits and then had to find a job, whatever. So anyway, here's the thing. Okay. Here's your call to action. If you're ready to leave a lasting legacy and ensure peace of mind for your family, drop the word plan in the comments. And maybe you're like, Jana, I have a plan. Maybe you just want to review it. Maybe you're just like, well, let me just kind of go through and make sure I cover all my bases. Maybe you don't have an estate plan. I don't know your situation, but I'm here to help you. This is something that I decided to do about 2 months ago. I partnered with a firm that takes care of all of these, okay? Any of your financial needs and estate affairs, we can help you with, right? And it literally takes less than 2 hours. So drop the word plan in the comments and I'll send you the next steps. But I want to ask you, and I'm going to leave you with this question. If you were to pass away today, do you have enough income in a life insurance policy that is going to take care of all of your needs and wishes? Okay. If you were to pass away tonight after this live, What is going to happen to your assets? Or maybe you're just like, man, Jana, I don't have a lot of assets. I want to make sure I have assets to leave my family when I pass away. So walk yourself mentally, and this is something that I do a lot when I talk to people. I'm like, let's just walk through mentally, what would life look like for your loved ones when you pass away? What can you see it? What is the hospital room going to look like if you are on life support? Is it going to look like my sister talking to the physician because she's the directive to a physician and she's my power of attorney? Is it going to look like she's making the decisions and communicating with the doctor? Or is it going to look like a cat and mouse fight? My mom saying one thing, sister saying another thing. Like, do you see the difference between the two scenarios? Right? So this is so important. It's not only just for your peace of mind for the rest of your life, but it's for your family for the rest of their lives after you pass away. So I want to make sure you got everything squared away. It looks like Cassie says my husband had two and I don't have one. Well, I can totally help you with that, Cassie. We've got to get that in place. God forbid, and the thing is, as you get older, you may not need it. So my dad, being 74, he didn't need life insurance. I mean, his assets cover all of that. No, absolutely. Absolutely, Cassie. I mean, absolutely. You've walked through this and you've been through this. You know how important life insurance is for you. Is You can never have too much life insurance, but the minimum is at least 25 grand. You got to at least to be able to, your family should at least be able to cover your burial. Since I've been doing this for the last 2 months, the average needed is about 500,000. But it's not just the life insurance, okay? It's the power of attorney, the will, and the directive to a physician that make up the estate. All right, so we got to make sure we get that in order. So drop the word plan in the comments or just message me directly and say, Jana, I just caught your live. Oh my gosh, I need to make sure my affairs are in order. It's $38 for your estate plan. Most attorneys are going to charge you $400 just for the will alone. $38 for your estate plan. You're good to go. 2 hours of your time, you're done. And you can have peace of mind in your family. You're gonna die knowing there's peace left behind, along with disperse of assets and everything else. All right. I love you. Let's take care of this. Do not wait. For the love of God, do not wait, because I did not expect my husband to walk out of the door on August the 12th, 2008 and never come home. I know Cassie didn't expect in November to get a phone call that her husband passed away. Okay. I know that my cousin didn't expect to get a phone call that his wife passed away. And this was 5 days ago. And all of these people were under 45 years old. Okay. I heard a story last night of a woman who did not get life insurance. And guess what? She ended up being diagnosed with cancer and got a tumor. And now she's uninsurable. You do not want to wait on these, my friend. Please do it for yourself. Do it for your family. You will be so glad that you did. All right. I love you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day.